Hello, welcome back for another random World Visions video. This is the 6th week of the 6th anniversary, and I imagine it's going to be the last week. It's also the last week of the LFRX3XII, the Final Fantasy 13-2 collab. And this week is a little bit interesting. Let's see. Pretty much what they're running this week is a raid revival, but there's also a couple of pieces of gear that usually aren't on these, and these pieces of gear got upgraded. So there's a ticket for 650 of any variety, which is kind of nice. Aside from that, just the regular stuff, just some goodies. And lots of recipes to shop. But these ones down here, the ribbon and the 3 stars, usually don't appear on this if I'm not mistaken. And both of these got a +1, as well as the Genbu ring. Now, aside from that, I think it's just more of the same. Everything here is standard, normal. So it's a raid revival, basically. And yeah, I do like raid revivals. I think this will be my second raid revival on JP. Oh, before I leave this screen. And then this week, they also added these select tickets, which goes all the way up to, I imagine, El Sorel. Let's see if she's on there. Okay, so El Sorel's actually not on this. Neither is Oldoa. Neither is Little Leela. But it's a select ticket, so they're still very nice. And then this is a 200 shard pack, which, yeah, it's the same. So luckily, I got exactly enough to grab all 3 of these. And if you have odd numbers, you could buy more of these burst pots. Pretty nice stuff. I don't think there's anything else that's new. Aside from that, so I'm just gonna go look at WOTV super quick. So Jayden, Renan, Satya Rachis, they all got MA2/3. Jayden's MA2 is not bad. Of course, Jayden was an important unit. Well, he's still kind of good. He's just not that insane, right? He's okay. He's a he's a dual commander. Yeah, that's right. He's a dual commander. But he gets what, like magic reduction, pen, little bit of debuff weakening. He gets an ability upgrade, which I think is just his passive. Yeah, I think it's just his passive. He just gets some really big defensives because he is really, really squishy. Aside from that, the 3 stars got the +1, and it goes from just 20 AP consumption, and it gets this nice little boost of 7 human resistance, which I don't think we've seen on an item yet, besides those conditional items for like collabs and stuff. But very, very nice. And 20 accuracy, decreased spirit by 20 just for the cast. So kind of nice, actually. The accuracy version only has 21 accuracy. It's not bad, right? But you could go a 28 spirit version of this. Pretty nice. So I am fond of that. I can get at least 1 copy. The ribbon got also a nice upgrade where now it basically covers every status ailment in the game. It's basically like a full set of resistance trust stones, but it only keeps the 10 evasion, so it's not really that insane. But you could go for just like a generic defense, like spirit or defense one, and it's not bad. You know, getting that full status ailment resistance. Of course, there's the Balo smartphone that kind of does the job as well, and the Genbu ring just gets additional 3% all element res. It goes to 10, which is pretty nice as well. And then it gets a nice little stat upgrade for the HP, defense, and spirit. So Genbu ring definitely is a little bit better now. Now the new vision card, Jayden's vision card, which is the new brand of hollow vision cards, jaw-based, crossing over with the new fire elemental buffs. But the card itself, right? HP, def, 3 def, 50 dex, and 5 agility is actually quite gnarly. I like this card a lot. And the user gets 30 magic. The fire units get 21 physical damage taken reduction, which is very, very good. Not gonna lie. Single target res, debuff weakening 20, and then the new, this is a newer style of stat we've been seeing, where I think the first time we saw it was Little Leela's card that has just regular human killer, which applies to physical and magical units. So it does give him the option of bringing a physical damage unit, and this card will actually benefit them. So I like this card a lot. I'm gonna pull for this card. I don't think there's anything else to say about the card. It's pretty solid. Let's take a look at the card master. I think the card mastery is similar to Snow's. Yeah, on guild map, critical damage, all elemental resistance, and Snow does the same thing for arena, but it gives human killer. And this card, yeah, I guess the last Esper vision card was the Quest vision card. So let's minimize that. And well, I guess I'm just gonna try to pull the vision card. There's really nothing else going on this week. We're still continuing the Final Fantasy like reprint collab for the whole cast of Final Fantasy. Like this month is gonna be half, next month is gonna be the other half. So again, my thoughts on this is it's nice, but it also kind of sucks because you have, like, if you don't want to pay money for this stuff, you have to fork over a lot of regular viz to build something. Like, let's say you do a vision card, you're gonna have to pay something like 10,000 and up to finish the card, which is kind of my disappointment with this whole shebang. So they're doing the same thing that they've been doing since the 6th anniversary, which is they're selling you the card for 5k paid. You can just buy it outright, you get it guaranteed, and you get it level 99. And then they took away the other paid banner options, so it's just this banner. Now, my thoughts on this is I think this is a really good thing, and I wish that, of course, I wish they never canceled Global, but if they had added this to Global, it would have really made the game a lot more feasible, right? Because you can focus your paid viz on vision cards and focus your regular viz on other things like either building units or building, basically just building units. There's not really nothing else to spend viz on at that point. And we all know that units can be very costly in the Vizio department because usually you cannot buy a unit outright. So you have to basically spend regular viz, but you may also spend paid viz. Like, for example, I think there's this banner, but these are just gambling, right? You're just gambling with the odds. So I do like this a lot. You also get the card at 99, so you don't have to spend any regular viz to max it. This would have been pretty nice. You know, it's really nice, especially if you had the discounted packs, so you could just get a card and just move on with your life. You get it 99, you can start using it right away. You don't need to worry about saving viz if you just want to pay. Now, I am just gonna pull the regular banner for this card because I don't necessarily think $100 is worth it for me. But if I had hardly any Visual left and there was a card that was really going to make the difference, then perhaps, you know, I could see myself hitting that banner maybe once or twice in my lifetime. Of course, the new vision cards with the elemental buffs are actually quite good. Those are a cut above everything else because they've not only do you get that extra stat line, right, where in an elemental team you get a 4th stat from the vision card. They've also shown that they're willing to put more like newer stats on those vision cards. So we've seen things like the last card had the distance barrier, which we have seen on vision cards, but it's a stronger version. And then we've seen just regular human killer from Lightning's card, all elemental resistance from Noel's card, and now Jayden giving physical damage reduction. So stats that you don't normally see on vision cards. So it just makes them easy to mix in with teams. And that is also part of the reason why I am probably gonna ignore everything coming out of the Final Fantasy rerun, because there are some cards that I do see myself, I would enjoy having those cards, but because the new cards are just simply going to outclass the old ones, I would rather just save my viz altogether for new cards, because that's where the investment is going to be more fruitful. So I didn't get it on the 3-step, and I don't think any of these can turn rainbow when you get that last slot with the shards. But for me, this account, I am kind of close to getting Oberon, Jayden, the limit, you know, level 140. And once I do that, I can throw this card in there. I can throw Garusa or Chariot in the main slot, and then the other one vice versa. So basically with this card, you can go 20 human killer, plus you can go another human killer card, so either 25. So that's already 45 human killer. Upgrade? Okay, so I guess I'm just getting the card. Well, there you have it. 4 pulls, got the card, an extra UR on top of that. I have said this in my last video where I pulled on this account. I have not failed a single banner on this account. Even when I tried the Halloween Vision card banner, okay, I was just going to pull 5 times to pity Lucio's card, but I ended up pulling Halloween Salir's card as well, so I walked out of that with 2 vision cards. So even when I try to pity something, I still get it, right? Which is kind of crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this account has bananas luck. Like, I spent what, 5,000, yeah, 5, is it 4, wait, yeah, 5,000, 7,000 for the step up. And now I can force build this card. Let's see, I'm gonna be at what, 1, oh, I guess I didn't buy the guild stuff yet, but I'll be at like what, 170. So with some vision stars. Oh, okay. Is it not on here? Am I high? No, it's just down here a little bit. but I can quickly finish this card. I think also I can farm this and get bonus shards for the week. I'll just leave it like that for now. But basically, the Raid Revival, I think this was called Raid Revival 12, the 12th edition of Raid Revival. Initially, I was telling myself like, okay, I'm gonna do another comeback. I'm gonna AFK for 2 weeks and come back for the Christmas unit. And maybe they'll have like a Black Friday deal or something like that. But when they announced the Raid Revival, I had to rethink my plans. Because you can farm some of the Mega Crysts that I just don't have a lot of. The white Mega Crysts, I wasn't able to get any of those last time on the last Raid Revival. The Void ones, I kind of have a decent amount. So this one, I could kind of craft at least something. And then the slimy fluids as well is another one, another material I need some more of. And this would be for a Genbu ring. So the sacred tree sap. And yeah, so it's not a hard raid revival. There's a couple of really easy bosses like Ifrit. That it's like Ifrit. Who else? Like Ultros. Ultros is probably the hardest because he's weak to missile and he's weak to earth. So that one would be good for Falset, but I don't really have Falset worked out that much. And he's like 70% slash resistant, and Earth Slash has the new latest the Valkyrie profile unit. And then the other is a Dark Golem, which is weak to slash as well, but there aren't really any insanely good slashing wind units. So maybe Wind Veritas, he does have a triple hit slash move, but I don't know how effective Wind Veritas is going to be, or just do the good old magic. He's not that resistant to magic. I think only 30%, but Shrekken can just get rid of that with her neutral attack. Aside from that, who has a good shooting base? Maybe like, yeah, maybe something like Irina, which I actually don't have. But basically, that's going to be it for this video. Nothing really special, just a vision card this week. And then I assume next week will be the Christmas unit, right? I assume that that's what's going to happen. And aside from that, yeah, we'll really have to see next week what the Christmas unit is like. I'm having a hard time anticipating what the Christmas unit could be. I kind of have a feeling because of this vision card that it might actually be a red mage, because we haven't seen a red mage in a really long time. In an extremely long time, and Red Mage is featured on this card, Red Mage Spear Katana. And usually whenever a vision card features some, like a job group, usually there's gonna be a unit coming in the future that fits that job type. Red Mage, I'm pretty sure the last Red Mage would have to be like Gilgamesh. And that was probably the only red mage that we've seen. So I think we're maybe gonna see like a double red mage team. Like 2 red mages come back to back. Maybe right after Christmas, it'll be another red mage. Maybe like 1 rotation later. Because I think there was an Adelard, a new Adelard that could be like a fire red mage. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't think it's gonna be spear, although it could be, right? It of course could be a spear unit. But we'll just have to see. My initial take on Christmas is I was really curious to see like what job it would be, because there are a couple jobs that if it is, I would probably be interested in pulling. Like, I think if it's a knight unit, that would really interest me. If it was a mace unit or a book unit, or maybe even a black mage, I would be interested. But if it's a red mage, I don't know how I feel about a red mage, because red mage is now one of the neglected groups. At least it has been in the past year, because all we really saw was Gilgamesh. So these are my Katana vision cards. So I powered up Chariot and I have Garusa's card, so that covers me in that regards. And then this is a human killer AoE res, so I could go like main slot, main slot, main slot, and then sub slot, sub slot. And then all I would really need, I think after that, I would just need to max this one. And then if I max this one, I can swap them around. I could max this one too and swap them around. The cool thing about Katana is it has the light resistance and the dark resistance card. So in theory, you could make a somewhat counter light, counter dark team. And yeah, very interesting stuff. The last thing that I don't know if I can look at this, but basically the rank 1 team has been showing some signs of not being invincible anymore, where basically I think the second place team got a win on the first place team by using Windmore Freya, but Exia as well. So I think, in my opinion, where the meta is at is there's enough moving pieces around between new units, Master Ability 3, new vision cards, and some of the recent units that really like counterplay is really actually viable again. Whereas I think for a long time, like a period of 8 months, right? And maybe even more than that, like the best teams usually just dominated everybody else, especially if you were a whale and you could reincarnate like max every single unit. You could put together the newest best formation and just kind of be unstoppable. Because for example, Windmore and Freya would obviously lose to ice, or at least I imagine it would lose to an ice counter. But the rank 1 team was running Garusa, Pain, and Noel, because of course Pain has been really popularized since the limited quick match that was cost 290. Like a lot of people were playing with Pain, and haste group haste has been really coming back into the fold with Shell. But now Exia also has a limit break upgrade, that her limit break, which used to just be like a fire buff and all this stuff, now gives haste to the group. Quite strong, bringing Exia back into the picture for sure. Even units like Sedali and Gun God Jayden kind of being given some additional power, because Jayden, Gun God Jayden, is about, I guess he's almost a year old now. I don't know if I could see that. Let's take a look. Japan units, Element Ice. But they've really stepped up their game between MA2s and MA3s. 9-12. So yeah, he's actually about a year old now. He's about a year old now. 9-12. So he must have come out. Oh no. Release date 11/13/24. Okay, so he's about a year old now in JP. So they've been doing a good job at updating units, actually, like frequently enough. these like newer units, right? Where last week we got Exia, Sedali, Limit Break upgrade, and upgrading these units fast enough and giving them decent enough buffs where they can actually kind of still hang and they feel still competitive to a certain extent. Like Lilith was doing great with her MA2, where she doesn't gain that much, but she gains, you know, a buff upgrade, some damage upgrade, additional, you know, stuff. And the benefit of these units compared to a brand new unit is there's been enough time in the game where you could, in theory, have them reincarnate a lot, and that's going to make a difference. Initially, I thought we were going to see a new weapon this week, because they've been releasing them about every month. So I thought initially we were just going to get a new weapon, maybe a Grand Arena. So that's why I was thinking, I'll just AFK and come back for Christmas. But, you know, we got the Raid Revival, and that is something I do love, because it's only my second one, and I can at least get a lot of materials, get some recipes to kind of just have this stuff. And then in the future, I won't need to worry as much about it. Like, there's only a couple bosses I really want to farm. Aside from that, I've already got a lot of the mats. For me, the last piece of gear, the last Mega Crest that I don't have is the ice one. The ice one for the Katana, just to have that. And then the Winter's Cloak, I don't have, I can't craft that yet. But now I could basically craft everything else, like this piece of gear. You know, I can obviously craft Genbu rings, but I could craft 3 stars and that. And then getting all the vision cards and espers. It's pretty nice. So that's gonna be it, guys. Peace out till next time.